You mean he might have eaten a pilchard rather than an anchovy? Whatever will we do? Said Mr. Stewart, and Imogen bounded over to the sofa to thump him with a cushion, then ran upstairs to find a book. Still reading about detectives? Said Mrs. Stewart when she returned a moment later. Imogen flopped down onto the sofa and sighed. No, she said. Detectives are a bit babyish, I think. Surely not, said Mrs. Stewart aghast. You can't mean that. Imogen made a sort of mumbling noise and buried her face in her book. She didn't mean it, not really. She'd loved being a detective, and for months she'd carried her notebook with her at all times, keeping a constant eye out for things that might need investigating. But the truth was that ever since Einstein had left, there hadn't been any more mysteries. Or there had, but they weren't the proper kind of mystery, the kind with heroes and villains. There were only boring mysteries, things like how to say hello in French, and why Arthur never wiped his toothpaste up off the basin. All Imogen had now to remind herself that she'd ever been a detective before were the newspaper clippings Mrs. Stewart had insisted on pinning to the fridge. Imogen Stewart, the girl who solved the penguin mystery. British children return missing penguin to Sydney. Penguins now most popular animals at Sydney Zoo. They were very good newspaper clippings, to be fair, and Imogen still felt a surge of pride whenever she looked at them. But it had been a whole year now. More than a year, in fact. It was only sensible to assume her detective days were behind her. When Theo's mum dropped Arthur off outside the house, he was so eager to run up the path that he almost forgot to say goodbye. But he stopped himself. "Thank you for having me," he blurted, "and I'll see you on Monday, Theo." "Are you in a rush?" Theo's mother asked. No," said Arthur, going a little pink. "But Fridays are when Ted emails us. He's the zookeeper from Sydney." "Ah, of course," she said, raising her eyebrows a little. "Silly me. How could I forget?" Theo's mum had never actually met Einstein, and she still looked bemused whenever he was mentioned, like she didn't quite believe any of it had really happened. "Don't worry, Mum. You'll meet Einstein next time he comes to visit," said Theo. "Oh, he's coming back, is he?" "No, I don't know," Arthur admitted. "I hope so." "Well, tell your parents I said hello," said Theo's mum. She'd become distracted by Theo's little sister, Sophia, who had started crying in the back seat. Arthur waved one last time before hurrying up the garden path towards the front door. "Imogen!" cried Arthur as he crashed into the house and threw his school bag down on top of a pile of old trainers. "It's Friday!" "So it is," called Mr. Stewart. "Huh! Did they teach you that at school?" "That wasn't funny the first time, Dad," said Imogen. "Can we use the laptop now? Please?" Yes, I demand that you use the laptop," said Mr. Stewart. "Why haven't you used it already? This week might be the week that everything changes." "You're still not funny," said Imogen, but she was already halfway up the stairs. Dear Imogen and Arthur, thank you so much for your email last week. I passed everything you said on to Einstein, and he gave a very big squawk when he heard how well Arthur had done in his maths test. This week, Einstein has done a lot of swimming and has shown a preference for pilchards over anchovies. Here's a picture of him hanging out on a rock with his new friend Steve. They just made up after a brief incident this morning when Einstein stole Steve's fish at feeding time. I think he mostly did it because some tourists were watching. Einstein always wants to be in front of a camera. Best, Ted. Mr. Stewart had been right. It was pretty much the same as normal. But sometimes, Imogen told herself, normal was nice.